Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm starting off with the Masquerade Palette from Juvia's Place. I'm taking the shade called Bori and applying it to the upper crease area as my transition shade with a nice fluffy brush. Then I'm gonna go into the shade Zobo and I'm gonna apply that with a denser brush this time to make sure I get that pigment that I'm looking for. And I'm just gonna put this into the crease area to start creating like that extra depth there. Moving on to the Magic palette from Juvia's Place, I'm using the shade Ife, and I'm taking a small little blending brush and placing this onto the outer corners and kind of dragging it into the crease area, and that's just gonna start smoking out the look. To create my cut crease, I'm using the NYX Jumbo pencil in the shade Milk with a small little lip brush, and I'm just taking my time and carving out that shape that I'm looking for. Moving back to the Masquerade palette, I'm taking the shade Makita and I'm placing that onto the lid area that I just carved out. I'm also going to use a really small brush just to make sure I can get really close to the edges of that cut crease. And right after, I'm going to go ahead and apply my glitter. This is the Cake Your Face official glitter in the shade Grape Jelly, and I'm placing that onto the lid area using the NYX glitter primer. And just take your time with this step, you don't have to rush. You definitely want to make sure that you're getting super close to that cut crease so everything is nice and sharp. I'm going to take a break from the eyes for a little bit and move on to the skin. I'm first taking the Becca First Light Priming Filter, and I'm blending that in using an e.l.f. stippling brush. And then I'm gonna go in with the Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Caramel, and I'm using a Sigma F80 to really blend that out and make sure I get a nice full coverage look. To start concealing my under eyes, I'm using the Bare Minerals Bareskin concealer in the shade Tan. I feel like using a concealer that's closer to my skin tone first underneath my eyes really helps to make sure that the next concealer that I put on that's brighter kind of blends in a little bit easier. So once I'm done with that, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Tarte Shape Tape concealer in the shade Tan. This one is of course lighter than my skin tone, but having that kind of base concealer underneath like helps me as far as like blending it out and making sure that it blends in really nicely with my skin tone. After I feel like I have like my coverage up to par, I'm gonna go ahead and set everything using powder. I'm using the Benai Banana powder as usual. You guys know how I use this stuff all the time. It's one of my favorite powders and it works great for underneath the eyes, especially if you use it in small amounts. Next, I'm gonna finish up the eyes. I'm taking those same colors that I used for the crease and I'm just applying that onto the lower lash line and really smoking that out. Then I'm gonna take the shade Oh Sun from the Magic palette from Juvia's Place and just place that into the inner corners. For lashes today, I'm using two sets of lashes. These are the Ardell Double Ups in number 206, and then I have a pair of Lilly lashes on in the style Carmel. Next, I'm gonna move on to the glitter tiers. This is the fun part. I'm gonna start off with some lash adhesive first, and I'm just dotting that onto the under eye area and then slowly building up that glitter till I get to my desired look. I'm using the same glitter that I applied onto the lid area too. I'm gonna go ahead and apply some jewels just for fun underneath the lash line. And that pretty much completes the eyes, so I'm gonna move back to the skin. I'm using the Tarte Tarteist Contour Volume 3 palette with a nice fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna start bronzing my skin. And then I'm gonna take the darkest shade out of the palette, and with a smaller brush, I'm gonna go ahead and start sculpting my face. To clean up my contour, I'm using the SlaybyKC Matte Loose Powder. This stuff is awesome because it literally melts into the skin and it goes right into like my skin tone. So I'm just gonna place that underneath my contour and just swipe away any excess products. Then once that's finished, I'm gonna go ahead and take my Badescu Rosewater facial spray and just mold all those powders together. And right before it dries, I'm gonna go ahead and apply my highlight. I'm first taking the NYX Duochromatic highlighter in Lavender Steel. I'm using a very light hand with this and applying it to the tops of my cheekbones, forehead. I didn't wanna go too crazy with the highlight this time because there's already so much going on with the eyes. I'm also gonna go in with the shade Kitty Cat from the Anastasia Nicole Glow Kit just for a little bit of extra glow. But again, nothing too crazy, just a very, very, very light hand. Moving on to the lips, I'm gonna line them first and then apply my liquid lip color. I'm using this quick dry lip paint from Tarte in the shade Get It. And I've been using my fingers to blend out my liquid lipsticks lately, and I've been really liking the way it like makes my liquid lipsticks last a lot longer. I feel like by having like thinner layers of my liquid lipstick, it doesn't like crumble as fast. Just a quick heads up, just in case you guys were wondering what I was doing. A coat of nude gloss is the finishing touch for this look, and that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this makeup tutorial. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you liked it and comment down below letting me know your thoughts, and hopefully I will see you in my next one.